Click the links for BitChute, Odysee, Coffee, or join the channel. Channel memberships are up. You get a live stream icon or design your own and email me the design. So Into the Mouth of Madness, a day in the life of a holographic universe. That movie came out in 1995 and was pretty good, but it's definitely time to reboot it, which I guess means that they will make it woke, so maybe that's not such a good idea. Or maybe it's just kind of a moot one, because I sort of think I'm done with Hollywood, and I think Hollywood is probably done with Hollywood. Unless we make our own films, everything mainstream is going to be propaganda. Can we make our own films? Maybe. You can make movies on a very low budget now, and something like horror comedies don't require huge budgets anyway. Are you in a holographic universe? Probably not. A lot of this feels like people trying to overthink Occam's razor. There's a theory that if you know the state of a system, then you can extrapolate into the future, assuming you've got the computational means to do so, and that one could ever truly know the state of a system in toto. But on paper, it's possible. But does that model actually model our universe? Who knows? The universe is mighty strange. Stick around as long as you can. You don't want to miss something truly bizarre. The universe might be stranger than the universe's ability to understand itself. Mainstream comics are really bad, and there is no way to improve them because of the Marxist kids on Twitter. So when something that doesn't suck comes along, people think it's good just because it's not obviously bad. It isn't. I did the same thing with Black Widow. It wasn't as woke as I expected, so I said the movie, oh, it's not horrible. Women would probably enjoy the girl power stuff. In terms of comics, it's a manga and Comicsgate. The mainstream is incapable of avoiding blonde man bad identity politics. They just can't help themselves. They don't want to, but they are also trapped. We just accept woke nonsense, and we don't even really see it anymore. But it's there, pinging the radar of the subconscious mind. In the last book you'll ever read, the title, the opening scene is a guy on a train, and of course, two young men of the light, of Starbucks and Uggs, the people of glaciers and snow, the winter people, the people who drive four-wheel drives. They are scoping out the purported victim. What planet is this? What's the color of the sky in your world? Because this isn't Earth. That is not what happens in any American city. As soon as you see it, unless you're a naive little kid, it takes you out of the story as effing ridiculous. Like on the first page, the story is ruined because you know you're reading propaganda. It's not that guys who look like them don't occasionally commit malicious acts at all. I'm not saying that. But in the real world, it's pretty rare. But in comics, it's every single time. It's propaganda. It's one of the reasons American comics aren't selling, and manga is selling so fast they can't keep it on the shelves. You can't defame one group of people and pretend another group are angels. In fact, in this story, all the bad acts are committed by one group of people. Where is everyone else? The one POC in the story is kind, smart, and compassionate, i.e. a purse puppy. If you don't read comics, you won't notice this stuff, and you think it's just one issue. It just flies under the radar unless you're reading this stuff every week. Because no, it's 90%. Every bad act of horrific cannibalism is done by only one group of people. Insert the meme of it's all so tiresome. They read a book and they go nuts. It's like Stephen King's Cell meets Into the Mouth of Madness. The theme is man's civilization is a thin veneer for savagery. And society is breaking down, which is interesting in these times, because it is. And every time it shows acts of savagery, it shows Mr. or Mrs. Englishman and not anyone else. Really, the guy in the suit and tie is going to be the violent sociopath who breaks down society. His kind are the ones who built civilization. This kind of story is so stupid it hurts. It's like Disney Star Wars. It's flashy, but as soon as you start thinking about it, it breaks down. Or Wonder Woman 1984, Mr. Blonde suit and tie, drinking from a paper bag, just standing against a wall in a city. Are you insane? Have you ever been in an American city? He would not last 10 minutes out there before he was attacked and divested of his wallet, clothes, and probably shoes. There are dangerous people in the big bad city, and Mr. Blonde guy isn't it. If you don't read comics or pay attention to movies, you think it couldn't be this bad. Well, guys, it's time to start paying attention. I look at crap comics like this, and I wonder why they even bother. Oh, hey, we're punk rock. We're so edgy. We made every bad character an Englishman. Or something out of Scandinavian Central Casting. Yeah, you're really subverting expectations when you do what every single comic is also doing. Really stunning and brave to stand up for BLM and gay pride when Hollywood, the media, every corporation, and the government is doing exactly the same thing. That makes you a giant pussy. Oh, gee, the banks donated $1 billion to the group that you're standing up for. You ever think maybe you're not the good guys if you're on the side of the banks, the corporations, the media, the government? You know, maybe, just maybe, the people who are standing up against those things are the good guys. Like, you know, if you're Antifa or BLM and you look around who's pushing the bills for this, you gotta start to wonder if you're the useful idiot. And then you look at the people who, you know, on a 1-6, who are getting all that, those things happen to them. Maybe those guys are the good guys. I'm not saying they might still be stupid guys or hopelessly naive guys, but you probably are getting the feeling that maybe the media has been lying to you the whole time. Oh, no. They're telling the truth when they say what we want to hear. You know, once you impeach a source for veracity and being not credible, you can't suddenly believe them when they say what you want to hear. A liar is still a liar. Just because, even on the right, if a source is saying what you want to hear, but they have a history of lying to you, you have to throw it all out and do your own research. Oh, yeah, maybe we are the useful idiots. Being brave is standing when the mob wants you to kneel. Treating people equally means treating people equally. Sometimes it's just that easy. To never put POCs in the antagonist roles is just the soft bigotry of lowered expectations. The Twitter kids will be outraged about negative stereotypes, but ask them, what are you supposed to do? Make the people of the light the antagonists every single time? Isn't that also a stereotype? What the Twitter kids want, they want no stories at all. They want complete control of the narrative. 90% control of the media isn't enough. Of the mainstream media, they have almost 100% of the control. All media, we can get some freedom there. Okay, stories. They want no stories because stories reflect reality in one way or another. Sometimes by mocking it inadvertently. Sometimes by portraying the propaganda, you expose the propaganda. Propaganda is very difficult to do for more than a brief period. If you want examples of propaganda done perfectly well, like the highest quality standards of propaganda, look at Fox and CNN and MSNBC and Vox and Slate and Mike and now this. The biggest companies do propaganda the best. Because when you own the entire battlefield of the media, you're able to push a narrative. It's like, well, suddenly we got social media, and even mainstream social media is very, very filtered. Stuff is able to slip past that. You know, CNN sets up a scene, and then somebody with a camera comes along and says, "Yeah, I videotaped the whole thing. This is a set scene. They lied." They didn't say they set the scene. They said this is a found scene. But no, it's been manipulated, and CNN didn't tell you. Yeah, they lied to you. You have to throw them out. How many times does somebody have to lie to you because they're just a liar? It's like, it's an uncomfortable position to say, oh yeah, maybe the government is not trustworthy at all. We have to throw out everything they say. It's like, oh, but we want to believe in something. Yeah, but sometimes there's no good solution set. What happened before the Big Bang? Sometimes the only answer is, we don't know. And there's, oh, but I have to have a solution. But if there is no solution, you can't just make one up. Anyway, so in this comic, the white kids, the blonde guy in the red flannel and red hat, to make him look more rural. But in the city, that is blood color. Blue is Crips. You put a blonde guy in a red flannel and made him the most dangerous thing on the subway. That is insane levels of silliness. Oh yeah, and I didn't even notice when I was going over this. It's like I was jokingly saying they're going to make every person of the light evil, but apparently they do. They just do. Like, hey, good luck. This is a very derivative comic, and like I said, it's not good because it's not bad. This is still a pass. You can't say, it's a recommend just because it's not horrible. No, it's still a pass. You don't have to accept bad stuff when there's manga and Comicsgate out there. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys all next episode.